toys.
And we're here to talk about toys. We're back again at the video store.
We've returned.
We've returned.
Much like Batman has.
I see what you did there, sir.
Yes, Batman Returns.
The much anticipated sequel to Batman.
The very divisive sequel at the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was a kid. I saw it in the theaters, like literally the weekend it came out. My dad took me and my buddy to McDonald's to get the McDonald's cups. Whoa! Whoa!
What was that?
The penguin got so excited he like prematurely ejected over here. McDonald's cups. Oh! Woo!
That scared the shit out of me. Like, what the hell did that?
Hope you guys have your safety glasses on at home. Ooh. Danny DeVito got excited about the McDonald's cups. Wow.
Yes, the McDonald's cups. I have a question about.
Yes.
So that top right there, right?
The top.
I was looking up for my reviews. I was looking up old commercials for stuff.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to talk about McDonald's because there was a lot of controversy. They were not happy. Yes.
It was not as cute and cuddly as they were expecting for a thing they were promoting so much.
But in the thing, they're like, you can even get a disc that the same one from the movie, and then they show the Batmobile shooting a disc from the top, like the hood area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that didn't happen in the movie.
No.
These are 32-ounce collector cups with flying, crispy bat disc lids straight from the movie.
I'm like, I don't even think that's what that thing is. Did that get cut out? What is this?
I assume it got cut out.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anything else. But yeah, the little frisbee lids.
Yeah. Now this movie came out. This is the first one that came out while I was alive.
Okay.
Obviously I didn't see it in the theater. I was still pretty young at that point. But at this point, like after this, I ended up getting both on tape.
Okay.
And just watching them religiously.
Yeah.
But I had a lot, since it was the newest one, I had a lot of like Batman Returns. I had like the glow in the dark stickers that were on my childhood bedroom.
Yeah.
Until the day we moved out of there. We had a bunch of like paper plates that we used for years afterwards. We had so many Michelle Pfeiffer paper plates and I guess I had a big birthday party at one point. But around this time is when I started like really playing with toys. So I was getting like a double whammy of like the Batman Returns stuff and then the animated series stuff shortly afterwards. So I had a bunch of Batman Returns merchandise and whatnot.
Yeah, it definitely maybe wasn't the same juggernaut of like, we didn't expect this to be big like the first movie was, but they knew that it was going to sell merch and there was even more merchandise because they had two villains. You had just like way more stuff to kind of like new ideas of how to try and merchandise this versus like the first movie. It was like a couple action figures and like some Batman t-shirts, but they really went all out. I mean, Batman Returns just had anything you can put a face on it. They made it. Color forms, bed sheets, like the whole 9 yards.
Yes, people still have their sheets and what. I think I saw a guy, or maybe I even know a guy who like made a t-shirt out of an old Batman Returns sheet.
That's awesome. Yeah, and the movie has a lot of crazy stuff in it that didn't get made into toys.
Yeah.
In a weird way, but we'll get through a bunch of this stuff. So if you saw the first episode we did, DC toys in the early 80s were made by Kenner.
Yeah.
Fantastic line called Superpowers. Then somehow the toy line flipped over to Toy Biz, a very new company. They made a very small line for the movie, and it quickly jumped back to Kenner. And I think that was a Warner Brothers move. I think they just weren't happy. And Kenner immediately came out with the Dark Knight collection, which you probably had a lot of Dark Knight stuff.
We mentioned
everybody did. The Dark Knight collection and the Batman Returns toy line have very similar packaging. And a lot of stuff got reused between the two. Like some of the Batman variants.
Yeah.
Like they got like accessories, like a grappling hook launcher that came with one figure was recolored and given to somebody else.
Yeah.
But so that was sort of like the stopgap between the two movies, keeping kids like into the Batman thing. Batman Returns comes out and they put out a huge line of stuff again.
Yes, a ton. And I had a lot of it.
So the Dark Knight collection that came out right before this was sort of where they tested the waters of we can sell Batman in colors other than black and gray and blue. And it works. And so, I mean, we've been dealing with that ever since, right?
Yes.
orange Batman, yellow Batman.
I have a freaking Dark Knight toy over there that's purple and green. Like the Batman had like a specific Joker fighting suit. But yeah, they went really overboard with the colors.
My costume must match my villain.
Yeah. Well, it was hard, like with Batman Forever. I love Batman Forever, but you had to like buy that one specific thing to get just the regular black.
Right.
The closest I got was like that blue translucent one, but the one I had with the Batwings was like a purple Batman. I'm like, I don't remember him wearing that.
Yeah, it's really tricky with that kind of stuff. As a kid, I wanted what I saw on screen.
Yeah.
I know there are people that talk about it all the time, like the bright yellow Batman was my first Batman. I get it if somebody gave it to you, but I would have never begged for those
the
Batmans.
bright yellow
right?
Batman.
Like I have the Michael Keaton 89 Batman, and I didn't get another Batman figure until Batman the Animated Series came out. And then I got Combat Belt Batman, the regular Batman from that one. Maybe I'm a weird kid. But I wanted what was on the screen.
I mean, I was so young that I was just given stuff. The one that you don't have there that I actually have, again, in the middle of a move, it's boxed up. I had the black and white camo Batman.
Gotcha.
That had the shield with the bat wings on it that you could like turn. I don't know what its name is.
That one's called Air Attack Batman.
Air Attack. So I assume he comes from the air wearing
that thing is like a glider, but also like a like a weapons platform. I don't know.
It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny when you were unpackaging. I'm like, oh, it's funny. They all have the same look. The Michael Keaton one. It's like, by the way, that's not even what his suit looked like. He didn't have the molded muscles. They had the Art Deco look.
Right.
It looks like they just reused that.
Well, so what happened was you had 89, right? Then the Dark Knight collection came out where a lot of these molds came from. And it was a new toy company, but they just tried to make the new toys look as much like the first movie.
Okay.
And then because they had a nice looking Batman mold for Batman Returns, they just kept using the same Batman.
Yeah.
Like if you actually look at these, unless the guy has a gimmick like the one where the wings go out, it's all the exact same Batman, just painted in a bunch of different colors.
Yes.
So once they had a nice looking mold, they didn't bother to change it. So they weren't even trying to make it look like the return suit. They just went with whatever looked kind of like the first movie suit. So some of my favorite ones are the ones that are like Batman classic color variants. So you have like a light gray and blue. You have like a medium gray blue and blue. Like I like those because they kind of are comic book color schemes.
Yeah.
So I personally liked those a lot. The I think it was called Shadow Wing Batman, or maybe that was one version of it because, like I said, a lot of these guys got released more than once, like in different paint schemes. But you mentioned him in the other video. You click his legs together and his wings pop out.
Yeah.
Such a cool toy. Not necessarily the best if you want to try and like put him in the Batmobile.
Yeah, he didn't work with a lot of stuff.
But just a
he was literally
feature.
you just do this and then that.
Fly him around.
You fly him around.
Great feature.
I like the Arctic one because in the Flash there is a suit that kind of looks like an Arctic bat suit.
So this, basically the theory is let's just kind of come up with different environments, and I liked it because one, you have Mr. Freeze as a bad guy. He's not in the movie, but like you go, okay, well I have the superpowers, Mr. Freeze, or the DC superhero. Like a couple years ago, I'm going to use them together, or. The Penguin was very much an Arctic bad guy in the movie. Like it snowed and like he was in cold water, so. I felt like this fit the theme of the movie pretty well. It's better than like a like acid rain protection or whatever, which goes well with a Joker movie, right? Acid attack. So you have Arctic Attack, who's in the white. I believe this guy is Arrow Strike. So like airplane. He's got a suction cup.
So you just stick him on the side of things?
Yeah, I don't really quite get it. It's like a goblin glider that shoots a missile. He's in a gold-ish suit.
Yeah.
I'm not wild about that one. Not the most exciting color to me. I think this one is actually not from Batman Returns. I think this one might be from the Dark Knight collection, but it's like just like
I mean, it's basically the same mold.
The gold one was kind of popular. Let's just kind of do another shade of gold. It was flashy on the toy lines. I think this one's like Tech Shield or something like that. You had Scuba Batman. What's he actually called? Deep Dive Batman.
Deep Dive.
This one is bright yellow. It's supposed to be like a wetsuit. He did come with a cloth cape. I don't know how you swim with the cape on, but you could take it off, right? He has a black chest piece, kind of like the armor from the Arctic one that would go over him that looked like a scuba apparatus.
Did they, speaking of scuba, I know they made smaller figures, but did they make like a bigger bat ski boat
they did
for
make
him
a
to fit in?
Yes, they did make a ski boat. And maybe that was the reason they wanted to bring in like a aquatic Batman because you had the boat. So, okay, Joker or Penguin is in the water and in like snow, so maybe both of those make sense. I'm trying to think of what these other Batman were called. There was a laser Batman who I swear I own, but I don't have him here. He has a gray and blue suit, but it has like a quilted texture to it. Like it's not the exact same mold as these other ones because it has like these score lines in it.
That's pretty cool.
And he came with like a thing that hooked over his backpack with like a radar dish laser gun.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen that one.
It's a cool looking figure once you throw out the accessory, but with the accessories, come on.
Speaking of Batman figures, you have the most popular one right there.
There we go. This one up here?
The Bruce Wayne that dresses up as Batman, and that I was telling you the Batman 89 comic, they worked in that shirt into the actual comic. Like he's actually wearing that outfit.
Because Bruce Wayne would have a bat symbol on his shirt to help throw people off. He's just a Batman. So he came with actually like boots, gloves, a chest
and, like,
plate.
the chest,
Yeah. I'll cut to a picture of him with it all on. It takes too long to put it on. This was amazing to me as a kid because I always loved the either being able to convert them or just swap them out. Like Prince Adam and He-Man, Clark Kent and Superman. And this was, I think, as far as I know, the first Bruce Wayne figure in my lifetime. There was like Amigo Batman that you could take the hood off of. Yeah. But Superpowers didn't have one. The first Batman movie didn't have one. So I was really excited when this came out. And then there were two versions, actually. There was this one, and then one that had a purple shirt.
Okay.
And it was packed with his car. There was a Batman's, like, custom coupe or whatever.
Gotcha.
And it was one of those gimmicks where you could put two figures in it, and you flip a dial. And so Bruce Wayne was riding in it in the purple sweater, and you flip a thing, and then the Batman figure gets exposed.
Oh, that's cool.
And some, like, weapons pop out, so he can fight crime anywhere he's at. But that was a great figure, and it looks really good. Like it's probably the best likeness in any of the Batman, original Batman or Batman Returns toy line stuff, looking like an actor.
And of course, you have his mansion / Batcave there.
Yeah. The front's the mansion. It's everything has like two sides. So there's the front and inside of the mansion. There's a inside and outside of the Batcave, and then there is like a warehouse, like Arctic chemical.
I guess it's supposed to be like the Penguins area.
Yeah, it's like the Penguins lair. It doesn't look exactly like it from the movie, but this playset was so popular, sold so well for Kenner that they basically every time a new Batman movie or a new Batman license came out, they would recolor it and put it back out. So like this was the Wayne Manor for the animated series.
Really?
Like
that's funny.
There's a brown version, there's a gray version, there's like several releases of this, and it's a really good one. Yeah, like it has. So many features.
It looks like the one from the movie a little bit.
Yeah,
we joke about that in our reviews because like Batman '89, it's a real mansion.
Yeah,
and then Returns, it's a miniature.
Okay.
And then in the upcoming Flash movie, it's back to the original mansion. I'm like, does he just have two mansions that each have, because they look very different. The Batcave between the movies look very different. Like, does Bruce Wayne just have two mansions in Gotham? He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go to my winter mansion.
It's a really cool playset with a lot of features. And this line had a ton of vehicles and things like that.
Yeah.
But we weren't quite finished the figures.
Yes.
So lots of Batman variants, like more Batman than you can shake a stick at, and none of them are really super specific to the movie. Not that I can think of too many scenes where I would go, oh, he needs this exact accessory or feature, but most of them are pretty goofy.
The only thing I could think of would be the when his cape turns into a glider. Right. And that's the only one I can really think of.
I think they might have released that one again where his wings flip out, or it was just so recent. But yeah, that's the one kind of iconic thing. It sort of crosses over between the two movies. But you got to do the villains.
Yes.
And this movie had a ton of villains because the henchmen were so unique.
They were all like weird circus people.
They didn't really do any of the henchmen.
Yeah, it would be cool to get those skeleton guys, the big guys with the skeleton.
With the motorcycles? They fantastic.
Those guys were awesome.
So they did a Catwoman.
Yes.
She's a pretty good likeness for the Michelle Pfeiffer character.
Yeah, I think we were pointing out before, she's not as pale.
Not as pale, but
and she has the stitches. They're just not painted.
No paint apps there, but it is sculpted in. There's some rumors that this might have been a reworking of a sculpt they were going to release for Superpowers that never happened.
Yeah.
And since the toy license went back to Kenner, they had access to those old things. I actually have a carded Batman Returns. You can see the packaging.
I'm looking at it now. It's like whipping arm action and taser gun. Now she does have a taser.
She does. But
it's not that. Like that's a cattle prod. That is not a taser. That's not a regular hand taser. That is a straight up cattle prod.
So here's the whipping action. So if you can put the whip in her hand, arm will spring forward
Nice.
to crack that whip. I don't have the whip other than in the package. But it's a pretty good looking figure, and it gives you an idea with the packaging.
I did like the first movie had that gold and black, and this one with the black and white kind of logos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make it kind of stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the Penguin is
the biggest disappointment
giant
here.
step down. Yeah. So Kenner again had access to all these superpowers figures, and I don't know if they thought no one would buy the disgusting Danny DeVito one, or they just were out of tooling. But they didn't tool that many characters because, like I said, these Batmans are kind of all recycled. They used the superpowers Penguin.
Yeah, they just gave him darker colors.
They did him in black and red. Yeah. And then they gave him a new missile launcher, which actually I think this missile launcher came with one of the Batmans also, so that it's really just the umbrella missile that was
so they
unique
just
to
like
him.
put an umbrella logo on it.
Yeah. So I mean, I was excited to have this one as a kid, but it didn't look anything like the one in the movie.
Yeah.
I just kind of thought it looked nice that he was sort of in a more formal looking tuxedo than the bluish one. It wouldn't be until much later in the mid 2000s Mattel did a multiverse line, and we actually got a really nice Danny DeVito figure in that same kind of scale.
Well, now, I mean, speaking of figures, I have here from my childhood. I wonder who made this one. Hold on, does it say? It just says 1992 DC Comics. They sold like these bigger vinyl figures, and this one straight up is Danny DeVito.
It's cool.
He came with an overcoat, the black overcoat. I have my Batman, which looks straight up like Michael Keaton with the Art Deco look, with the cape still. He is packaged away. I never had Catwoman. They also make Catwoman.
Okay.
But yeah, this, like, I remember this was cool as a kid because it just straight up looks like him. Like, the detail in the face is so good. But yeah, I guess this was the only Penguin figure that actually looked like the movie.
If they had just given him a new head, I think this would have been passable. Like, I don't think anybody would have been upset the suit was
Longer
different.
hair, at least.
But, like, the fact that he has the monocle,
like,
it just doesn't really work.
I mean, he did wear a monocle in the movie briefly.
Yeah, but not enough that you
Not
think the
enough
toy
that
would
that
be
was, like,
way.
his thing, yeah. I would have just given him black hair, long black hair, at least. Make the nose go down instead of out.
For whatever reason, they thought that was good enough.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite toy action figures from the Batman Returns toy line is the Penguin Commandos.
Yeah, those are pretty great.
They made a troop builder set. It's one gray penguin with machine guns and one black penguin with a missile launcher, which they probably should have just done 2 missile launcher guys to match the movie. But these are so much fun. It's a crazy good penguin sculpt, too. I'm not sure. I think they were sculpted for the movie, but they almost look like, when you look at them, like, oh, they must have had this mold from something.
Yeah.
But I've never found anybody citing, like,
or maybe they made
it
it thinking, like, we could repackage this as just, like, an animal pack.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But they're really nice little penguins, and then they have these goofy, like, clip-on things. This one can actually shoot the missile.
Yeah.
But they're a lot of fun. I couldn't find the rest of them, but I have at least one other pack of these. Like, I find these at yard sales, and I always buy them because you need a giant army. And then one of the weirdest figures, because he has nothing to do with the movie, but is very adjacent to Batman, is the Robin figure.
Yes, and that was definitely based off, like, the Tim Drake look.
Yeah, this was, the newest comic book costume at the time.
And we were talking, like, people have said, like, he has the flat top because originally Marlon Wayans was going to play him. But I think me and you were talking about, they decided so early on that wasn't going to be the movie. I don't think they would have started building.
I
don't think this is a Dennis Nedry situation.
Right. The suit is too close to the comic
Yeah.
to make me think that this was some movie design that then they scrapped.
It's just like maybe they just didn't know how to do hair. None of the other, except for Michael Keaton up there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that
Also,
hair
was
is
just a popular 90s
It's just kind of a 90s
hairstyle.
hairstyle, yeah. And I don't have his cape, but his cape was really neat. It had, like, the two-tone fabric, like it was yellow on the inside and black on the outside.
Oh, okay.
Which is a really nice look.
Yeah.
Makes him kind of a, more of a standout figure. And he came, almost everybody came with some sort of, like, missile launcher, grappling hook,
and I mean,
batarang thing.
That is kind of what he wears in the next movie.
Yeah.
They did do the red and green.
That figure actually would work really well. They kind of changed the proportions of the figures for the next movie.
They did.
But that one would have been, maybe with a new head, could have been rolled over if they had wanted to. There's a couple other ones that are a little bit more rare. They were sort of more of a collector series. It's a Hydro Change, Jungle Tracker, and Night Climber Batman. And they just have more ridiculous, like, gimmicky stuff. They're a little harder to find.
But speaking of Climber.
Yeah.
Again, another thing I have. I had a Batman with a rope
Oh,
that
okay.
had a suction cup that you could like put
Yes.
on stuff. I still have it somewhere. I think they made a Catwoman one
Okay.
also, so they could both you could put them on your windows and it
Yeah.
looks like they're climbing up your window.
And then the vehicles for this line was a very robust line of vehicles. You had the Batmobile, which was a new mold, right? Because the original one was made by Toy Biz that we showed in the other video. It had the roof. It's very hard to get a Batman into it, though. The roof doesn't open real far. And it can launch the turbine from the front as a missile for some reason, because you got to pack in action features. They did a turbojet Batwing, all new Batwing toy.
Yeah.
It's not the one from the previous movie. It doesn't have that pistol grip handle underneath of it.
Aw,
it does
bummer.
kind of like turn into a vehicle, like it has wheels.
Okay.
Just because they got to build in features on these things.
Yeah.
There was a missile Batmobile, which I have here. This one's not complete. I bought it at a flea market not too long ago.
I was gonna say it's so shocking that they used the same Batmobile look.
Yeah.
Because you think
To
they
sell the
want to
toy.
update it to sell a new toy, but in the movie they do something, and of course they sold. They're like, "Oh, you have that old Batmobile? You think you're good with that? No, we got a new one that does what it does in the new movie.
We're wrecking it."
Yeah.
There was actually apparently I had heard an agreement that they couldn't wreck the Batmobile on screen in the first movie because they thought that the toy wouldn't sell if the hero vehicle got destroyed. I don't know if that's true, but they sure wrecked it in the next one.
Yes.
So it has pop-up missile launchers similar to the original one.
Previous one. Yeah.
But what it really does special is it can launch the sides. I'm going to try not to shoot them off the counter here. And so you can just drive the Bat missile down the alley afterwards.
We joked about it in the review. We were like, man, I hope it's a straight line back to Wayne Manor, because it's like, how does he steer in this? And you see how long that car is. I'm like, man, you're not getting around corners like that. Yeah, that was such an odd choice that they went with. I think they perfected it a little bit better in Dark Knight, where it's like, oh, it's not just going to be a missile, it's going to be a motorcycle that comes out of it.
It was a really cool scene, though, to see.
However, they did... Actually, no, they recycled in Batman Forever, because the plane crashes, the wings eject, and becomes a submarine, and I have that over there, and that does the same thing. It turns into the Bat Sub.
Yeah.
And then it also turns into a Bat's, like a jet ski that holds both Batman and Robin.
So yeah, the Bat Missile, really cool toy. I mean, if I was going to get one Batman Returns Batmobile, why wouldn't I get the missile version?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so good. There was a Bat Ski boat. I don't have it, but in the movie, there's a whole big part with that boat. I feel like that boat almost felt like it was just stuck in there for merchandising, though. Like it didn't really.
Yeah, he really could have just drove his car to the
like,
abandoned zoo.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Oh no, he couldn't because the car was destroyed.
The car was destroyed. He had to use
there we go. We figured out. Batman Returns, perfect movie, no flaws. I mean, he could have probably just walked to the zoo.
Maybe he's got some other, like a bat cycle. Who knows? There was the Bruce Wayne custom coupe that we talked about already. There was a jet foil skimmer vehicle for Robin.
Okay.
He had need his own vehicle.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Little thing. It looks like something out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
There was an umbrella jet for the Penguin, a little red airplane that could shoot umbrellas. Everybody needs a signature vehicle.
I I know umbrellas is his thing, but I feel like they're going a little over. I think the Penguin's really enjoying his umbrella thing.
It's very like 60s, where they have their thing and they can't get off of it. Like Penguin can only do bird related crimes. Like everything has an umbrella on it. Okay. All right.
Why not?
I would have loved, I know I didn't finish going through all the vehicles, but like the weird creepy train thing.
Yeah, where they're abducting the kids.
The ducky car.
Okay, I have a die cast.
But like for these guys.
Yeah, for these guys would have made more sense. But I do have a die cast duck car. Yeah.
And then even like we mentioned the guys on the motorcycles, the train. Like there's so many weird things they could have done. Oh, you know how he has that little riding toy Batmobile when he takes over it?
Yeah.
Like even something inspired by that. Even if it was like a grotesque Batmobile painted up for him to drive around.
They did sell like a little kitty big wheel.
Yes.
That was that. I guess so. If you wanted to put that on a spring, I guess you could reenact that scene.
There was a camo attack Batmobile, which was the Batmobile from this line, just redecoed. I don't know if that came out initially or if it was like a refresh after the wave was out for a little while.
I have one here. This is Sunroof Batman, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah, from 1992. It has Batman, there, his head sticking out the top, and I believe, if I remember right, he's missing his ear because when my sister was teething, she would just grab just random toys and bite on them. And I think she bit his ear off. I have like a few toys. Like I found the White Ranger's sword.
Oh yeah, Saba.
So we had 2.
Okay.
Because my sister was not big on sharing.
Yeah.
And I don't know where mine is, but I found hers and I could tell it's hers because the end of it is just all chewed up because she got it like she would just bite on toys all the time.
And then, the Batcave. I think that kind of... Oh, I didn't mention the Bat Cycle. There was a Bat Cycle for this line. Okay. And so this is another one of those really weird things where the 2 toy companies, like I said, kind of had this license. So Toy Biz made toys for the first Batman movie.
Yeah.
And I said they made this Bat Cycle and they totally copied the RoboCop toy.
Yeah.
And then Kenner got it back and they used the mold from the RoboCop motorcycle to make a Bat Cycle. You can see it's like they didn't remold it.
Yeah.
They resculpted it, but they used its design.
Yeah.
Because they're not the same size, but it's just so weird. 2 companies made Batman toys a few years apart with like the exact same Bat Cycles. Like it's just weird stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I like the 89 one more.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah.
This one's a little bit lazier maybe because it is straight up the RoboCop one. It like still has the gun on the side.
Yeah.
I think it had like little wings that fit through.
Okay, maybe
through
if there
here,
were
but
wings.
yeah, it's not complete, but it's just so weird when you see these like reused, like almost exactly the same toys made by different companies.
Yeah.
I would love to get to the bottom of that. It's a toy mystery. I would love to talk to somebody that worked at Kenner or Toy Biz and figure out why they thought it was okay to copy or why they didn't sue. It makes no sense to me.
Now you have another vehicle here that was part of the McDonald's, and I'm jealous because the one that I have, the spring is just so broken. It like I can't just click it back in.
Right.
Actually, no. Now yours is doing it too.
You broke it, Tony. Now we're gonna have to get out the hot glue. Maybe it only works when it's setting flat.
You son of a bitch.
All right.
But yeah, so they went with the bat missile idea, but it's not a missile. So yeah, it shoots and it's like that and it slides across.
I think it was probably to avoid a choke hazard kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it still keeps the front fenders. There were some other toys from that, but I can't off the top of my head think of what they all were.
We'd have to play the commercial.
Batmobile, one of 4 fun toys your kids get with each build your own Happy Meal you buy. Batman Happy Meal, only at McDonald's.
But that's also where you got these cups.
Yes.
Can I see some of the art on these cups? Oh no!
Bump the mic. It's a no-no.
So we have. Let me see that. We have, as the tagline said, the bat. We have the cat. And the penguin. And he's being chased by the speedboat. He wasn't wearing that at that point in the movie. But yeah, these are pretty cool. I feel like that's kind of like, I mean, I know they still do it, make a movie with Happy Meals and stuff, but like it's not as big as it used to be.
It's not like it was.
I never see commercials for it.
With the movie star pulling up to the drive-in to order,
or
McDonald's in the Batmobile,
or a stand-in, or recycle,
clearly.
like the Diet Coke
totally
commercial from Batman. It's just footage of him. But yeah, these are really cool. And like I said, that disc thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like they lied about that.
I wonder if somebody like at McDonald's was like super pissed later, like, how did it get cut? We made a deal.
But are those yours?
That is pretty much the run of my Batman Returns stuff.
Yes.
I had a few other things as a kid, like some PVC figures, but I have no idea where
I have. They're like little Batmobiles that came with candy inside. Like you pop out the bottom.
I remember those.
You have the candy, and they have the white and black logo on top. So I talked about the stuff that I had. I do have a Viewmaster.
Oh, yeah?
And the only thing I have left is the Batman Returns slides for it. But newest to my collection, I bought this for the reviews that we're doing.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I have a Christian Bale Batman mask. I have a Ben Affleck one. I'm like, I want a Michael Keaton Batman mask. And I saw a while ago, a few years ago, that they made a new one based off like an old mold or whatever. Okay. So I found this on Facebook Marketplace. And it was from 2014, and that's what the tag says, but they even, to make it feel authentic, they put 1992 there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm like, okay, so it kind of looks beat up. It's made to look like a mask that's a little bit older.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to wear this in the review. So I got it in the mail, and I go to put it on, and I went, what the hell's going on here? I managed to get it on at one point. and I'll send you the picture of my face and my eyeballs exploding out of the mask. It looks like if I were Batman, it looks like 1,000 bees stung Batman, and he didn't take his helmet off in time. So I didn't know what to do. I'm like, what is going on here? Is this like a child's mask? And I was about to yell at the guy I got it from. And then I look at the description. It says display purposes only. I'm like, who would make just a mask that was just meant to be displayed? Like, it's all you have to make it is just a little bit bigger. It could be an actual mask. But it looks cool. It looks cool when I have it set up over there. But yeah, I couldn't believe that. I'm like, display. So I ended up just having it sit on a table in the review. Oh man, it does look nice. It looks nice.
I like it a lot. It's so funny in that movie, and I know you've already reviewed it, but the mask gets ripped off of him for the big reveal.
Oh yeah, we talk about
that. And like the black makeup vanishes.
Yeah, we were real upset about that.
I love that. I love that whole part of it. It's just one of my favorite things.
It wasn't until the newest movie that they embraced the makeup thing.
Yeah, well, it's one of those weird things because like you need it to look good.
Yeah.
When he has it on, but it's odd when he takes it off.
Well, the first movie, when they did the costume test, they said it just looked weird with his flesh eyes.
Yeah,
that
makes sense.
It didn't make sense. Christian Bale got around it because whenever he took, like, in Batman Begins, he takes the mask off.
Yeah.
But it's the back of his head.
Right.
And then any other time he's there with the suit without the mask, enough time has gone by that you can assume he wiped off the makeup.
Right.
What was it? The Batman v Superman, I love in the dream sequence. I guess it's a dream, so it doesn't count. People joke that, like, when Superman rips off Batman's helmet, his eye makeup comes with it. But it wasn't so Robert Pattinson. Like, yeah, we all know he wears eye makeup.
Right.
Can we stop dancing around this?
Bruce Wayne, it's Batman or it's Superman that changes in the phone booth. But when Batman's in that situation, he's like pulling out his compact and smearing his face.
Well, actually, I kind of like that part in Batman Returns where like Bruce Wayne's got this like real uniform system, how he puts this, and then it's Catwoman driving the car and trying to get the suit on.
It is a good feature.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
All right, guys. It's so great to have Tony on here again.
Yes.
We actually have a whole playlist on Pegwarmers here where you can see other videos Tony's been in because we've done quite a few episodes.
We have. I need to have you back on the show soon. Yes. Seth Rogen's about to put out a terrible Ninja Turtles movie, and I want to do, around the time when that comes out, I want to do worst Ninja Turtles movie.
I like the idea.
I feel like I still haven't seen the second of the newest live action ones. I haven't. I just haven't gotten around to seeing it. So.
I got all the toys from those Michael Bay ones.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited to see where we land on that.
Okay.
That'll be a fun thing to land on.
All right, guys, if you liked the video, hit the like button. Please share this with a movie fan or a toy collector. And thanks for hanging on the peg with us.
Goodbye.